Prime Minister, the President, and the armed forces have conducted themselves outstandingly throughout this process. As far as this mission that the Prime Minister sent us on, as you can see, I have the most capable team in the history of Pakistani diplomacy. I don't think ever this many foreign ministers and foreign secretaries have gathered at the same place. And ultimately, the case that we are advocating for is one of truth, is one of justice, is one of peace. So it has been particularly encouraging, the reception we've had to that message. Your question about Israel strikes on Iran, absolutely. Look, Pakistan's border is with, on the one side with Afghanistan. We suffered Afghan 1 blowback. Now we're suffering Afghan 2 blowback that at the moment is confined for us, but heaven forbid that it affects other countries. The other border where we almost engaged in a full-blown conflict that could have led to a nuclear war is India. Then the other country is Iran. We certainly don't want war on this border. Pakistan has condemned the strikes that took place over the last couple of days at our neighboring country. And we will continue to advocate for peace on all our borders, be it with Afghanistan, be it with Iran, be it with India. We absolutely cannot afford this conflict to turn into Iraq 2.0 or World War III. And it has become far too easy for this to be having a war every month. What is wrong with this generation? You were supposed to protect us from the scourge of war through dialogue and diplomacy, and it has become the default setting. Whenever there is a conflict, whenever there is a dispute, to launch into full-scale war. And it is far easier for older generations to make these decisions, to start these conflicts. But it's my generation that's going to have to pick up the pieces. I absolutely call on the international community to play their role to immediately impose a ceasefire in this Iranian conflict with the occupying forces in Palestine. We cannot have perpetual war. It serves none of our interests. Finally, you're working in the police over here. But I want to speak to you in that context. That Pakistan and Europe, Pakistan and the UK, Pakistan and the United States, we have cooperation on counterterrorism. We have coordination on counterterrorism. We have intelligence sharing to deal with counterterrorism, and we've done this from before also, but particularly 2001 onwards. That relationship, that CT cooperation has become so effective that on both sides we've managed to work together to thwart terrorist attacks. Terrorism knows no borders, it knows no race, it knows no religion. It is a menace for all of us, but we've managed to cooperate. And based on intelligence sharing, thwart terrorist attacks in the United States, thwart terrorist attacks in Europe, and thwart terrorist attacks in Pakistan. Would you believe there's no coordination, no cooperation between India and Pakistan on combating terrorism? 2012 was the last time we had a comprehensive dialogue in which there was some cooperation on CT. 2019, there was a last attack which led to planes in the sky. Between that date and this date, we've had no conversation. I ask you as an expert, someone who deals with terrorism, is this a viable situation? Or will we be able to more effectively combat terror if India and Pakistan sat together and coordinated, conducted intelligence sharing? We would be able to develop, just as the United States generals said before their Houses of Parliament or their Congress 2 days ago, 3 days ago now, that we have a phenomenal partnership with Pakistan on counterterrorism. We can develop that phenomenal partnership with India as well.
Thank you, sir.